first timers came around and people looked great. They had good conditioning, they had a good physique. So we were like, all right, this is going to be tough, you know? But I ended up winning that. And then we were like, shit, okay, you know, good job, you know, congratulations. And then teams came around and then I won the teenager category as well. And we were like, okay, hold on, what is happening? I mean, is he actually good at this? And then so opens comes around and I win that as well. And then we were like, holy shit, like, I'm actually doing really well and we were not expecting this. And then so overall comes around and I was placed in that because I won my other categories and it was intense. The announcer, as always, you know, he reads out the name slowly and he was like, the winner for men's bodybuilding overall champion is... What's up guys, and welcome to the third check-in. We are now officially 7 weeks out from the bodybuilding competition. There was a bit of a mix-up with like the dates. Basically it was 7 weeks out and a few days, so I rounded it up. It was a bit intentional because, you know, I'm kind of stressing, to be honest, that I might not get lean enough. So I added an extra week and I kind of convinced Wes that we had an extra week ahead of time. But I gotta face reality. We're actually 7 weeks out, minus that week, so we're not 8 weeks, 7 weeks. If I really want to get lean, I will have to sacrifice my calories, and I'm completely prepared for that. If I have to go 1,000 calories, then, you know, come at me. But how is my weight holding up from the new calories? So my new calories are now, like I said before, 150 carbs, 40 fat, and 180 protein. This weekly average was only 200 grams, but that's fine because I'm now finally in the 65 kilogram range, which started about a few days ago. So I'm estimating this week's weekly average will hopefully be about a 1 kilogram drop. So if that's the case, I don't have to lower my calories anymore and I can just stick to these 1600 calories. Wesley mentioned in his last video about his energy levels and how he was feeling, and I completely understand. I mean, especially with the low calories for so long, I feel super sluggish. All my movements are super heavy. I just don't feel like doing anything or leaving the house. And especially when it comes to training, since I'm trying to maintain my strength, it's just a chore to actually leave the house and train and pick up weights, especially with how heavy my body is feeling at the moment. And my cravings have been unbelievably bad. I mean, for some reason when I'm not on prep, I don't watch food videos, but as soon as I start prepping, I'm watching like Mikey Chen, Mark Wiens, Chonny Day, all these random food channels, and that definitely is not helping. It's making my cravings worse and worse and worse, and it's just not helping at all. But I'm still on track. I haven't cheated yet. Hopefully I can suppress these cravings that I'm having, but we'll have to see how it goes. I'm generally a very happy person. Like when I was on Roaccutane for my acne, one of the known side effects was depression, and I never got that, so I was completely fine. Especially last comp, I didn't really have any problems with my mood either, but for some reason this competition especially, I just feel like I am on my period 24/7 and my mood swings are just like up and down, up and down. And I'm not too sure why. I mean, like my little brother comes into my room and I'm just like doing my thing, just playing games, and he just wants to see what I'm doing. And it's completely, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But for some reason, that just makes my blood boil, and I'm just like, what are you doing in my room? Like, what are you just standing there for? And there's like no reason for me to even get angry. And just like the smallest things, the small things that people say, I just stand there and I'm like, I just want to hit you with a car. It's to my friends and family, I'm sorry. My family probably won't understand the reason like about these mood swings because they've never really been exposed to bodybuilding. I'm like the only person in the family to pick up bodybuilding as a hobby, so they don't understand why I'm so grouchy and that the low calories is what's affecting my mood. But you know, to my friends, I'm sorry that I don't want to hang out too much. I don't want to go out or anything because like I can't feel happy when I'm watching you guys eat food or do anything like that. So in this video, I kind of quickly wanted to go through my last competition. You know, I've always had competing in the back of my mind, but I never expected to do it this early on. I was always expecting to do it when I was a lot older. Before Wesley picked me up as a client, I was training for about 4 years before that, So it was just like a regular training, a bodybuilding split 5 times a week, just eating whatever I wanted. And don't get me wrong, it was a good way to build that foundation. But as soon as he picked me up, you know, I started focusing on progressive overloads. I had proper nutritioning, I was eating more protein, and my progress definitely went through the roof. So at that stage, Wesley and Rax, who was my cousin, was like, Lee, you should jump on stage and do a bodybuilding competition, see how you go, because you're looking decent right now. And I was like, you know what, I'm not too sure, I'll have to think about it. So the first competition comes around and it is in Canberra. It was the I Compete Natural Federation for season A, and I was about 19 at the time, so it was in 2017. Basically a similar situation as it is now. I stinged out the teens, so I was at the very end of teens, just like I'm in juniors. So I did a few different categories. First timers came around and people looked great. They had good conditioning, they had a good physique. So we were like, all right, this is gonna be tough, you know? But I ended up winning that, and then we were like, shit, okay, you know, good job, you know, congratulations. And then teams came around, and then I won the teenager category as well, and we were like, okay, hold on, what is happening? I mean, is he actually good at this? And then so opens comes around, and I win that as well. And then we were like, holy shit, like, I'm actually doing really well, and we were not expecting this. And then so overall comes around, and I was placed in that because I won my other categories, and it was intense. The announcer, as always, you know, he reads out the name slowly, and he was like, the winner for men's bodybuilding overall champion is Leland. And fucking everyone who came to support me was like, fuck. I was like, what's going on? Like, I was overwhelmed. My family was like, yeah, that's my boy. And Wesley was crying. Like, Wesley actually cried. And it was just completely unexpected, because leading up to the competition, I was binging. Like, I picked at food. Wasn't able to suppress my appetite. Like, one of the nights I called up Wesley and I had half a Grand Ferrero Rocher on the table, and I called him up and I was like, hey Wes, there's this Grand Ferrero Rocher on my table right now. It's half eaten, and you know what? If I eat this tonight, I will not cheat for the rest of my competition. And then he was basically like, dude, no, you can't do that. We are so close to the competition. You're gonna jeopardize everything. So the reason why I called him was for that reassurance, and which is what coaches are for. And then so I told him, I was like, you know what, you're right, I won't eat it, I'll put it away, let's smash out this competition. So I hang up, look at the Grand Ferrero Rocher, and you know, obviously being the good client I am, I fucking devoured that shit. And it was like the best tasting, like one of the best that I've ever had. And I smashed it, like I ate it, and I was like, this was completely not fucking worth it, but I loved it. And that was only one of the cases. Like, this happened throughout the entire competition, which is why we didn't really expect to win, and why I told Wesley that I wasn't going to go to nationals, because initially I was like, you know what, if I win the Canberra competition, I will go to nationals. And I said that because I wasn't expecting to win. I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna fucking win this competition. So in nationals, I placed first in novice, first in teens, and then first in opens, you know, no biggie, which put me into the overalls. And at this stage, I wasn't expecting to win overalls, which I didn't. The person who did beat me was a lot older than I was, who had much more muscle development. He was way more experienced, and his conditioning was definitely on point. He definitely knew what he was doing. I mean, unlike us, I was Wesley's first client to actually ever compete on stage. Looking back at it now, it's definitely good that I didn't win. I mean, especially it motivated me now. I was definitely salty as hell, and like having the biggest sook at that time when I did lose. I was like, fuck that guy, you know, I could have beaten him and shit like that, knowing full well that I couldn't have beaten him. But I was a teenager, you know, I'm definitely an adult now. I'm 21, so give me a break. Hopefully, you know, if I lose this time around, I'll take it like a man. But yeah, initially I didn't really want to go to nationals, but after I experienced the competition feeling, I definitely loved every bit of it. I loved all that attention. I loved being up on that stage and posing, and I don't know, there's just something about it, and I think that's what people will find, that once you jump on stage, you will just get that itch after you stop competing. You're like, I really just want to jump back on that stage. And although I did win like the Canberra competition, the different categories in nationals, my conditioning wasn't phenomenal, but I think my posing did definitely play a big part in helping me win. And I've definitely improved in both my posing, my discipline, and I feel like I'm just, hopefully I put on more muscle. I feel like I put on more muscle. So I'm definitely looking forward to competing this time around. So with this improvement, I'm definitely really excited for this year's competition. Although I do feel like I could have improved a bit more by giving myself another year. Big things are coming this year. If I win the Canberra competition, I can qualify for the nationals, and then if I qualify for nationals or even win my pro card, that would be amazing. I can go to the world competition, which is in Korea. And lately I've been having this little obsession with Korean shit, like food, dramas, and the girls. And so conveniently it lines up with my interests. So you can expect vlogs in Korea. We're gonna smash out the food, mukbangs, maybe do 10,000 calorie challenges. So definitely expect those. Big things are coming. And that was it for this week, I think. As always, go check out Wesley's check-in, and I'll see you guys next week.